Are you in search of quality crafted furniture that brings warmth and style to your home? At Pioneer Furniture, we offer a large selection of stunning handcrafted Amish furniture. From exquisite tables and comfortable chairs to beautiful bedroom sets, we have everything you need to elevate your living space. Each piece is crafted with care and attention to detail, ensuring you receive the best in quality and design. Visit us today at 4 North Idaho Street in downtown Dillon and experience the unmatched beauty and durability of Amish furniture. That's at Pioneer Furniture, where the West comes to rest.
Well, welcome to Extra Point on Southwestern Montana News. Our program today brought to you by Susan McRae Accounting, Pioneer Furniture, and Town & Country Foods. And today our guest, Ryan Nourse, head volleyball coach. You can see I did some really good editing on my notes. Head football coach at Montana Western. 15th year, you said.
Yes, it'll be my 15th year at Montana Western.
And then counting your 4 years as a player, you've got almost a quarter of a century as a Western guy.
Crazy.
Yeah. 2025 Bulldogs, defending conference champs, preseason favorites to repeat, but a little bit of a rough start getting things going in that first game.
Yeah, game one was certainly a challenge for us. Game ones are really good if you play someone really good. I've always felt that way. I always want to play someone that's going to be a big challenge because it shows you where you're at, who you are, and who you're not. And I thought we learned. We got a lot more good out of a disappointing loss than what you would say would be bad. So in realistic terms, it's a long season. Yeah, there's 9 more weeks. But what you get out of your first several games is really important to see who you're going to be at the end.
Well, the game against the Diggers was kind of 2 games. There was the first half where nothing went right for the Bulldogs, and then the second half is where everything kind of got tuned up and was running right.
Yes, we started very slow, lots of mistakes, some poor play in general. Lack of energy, lack of enthusiasm. So basically everything that we're not, we were. But we got it rolling somewhat towards the end of the second quarter. And then, started and played pretty good football in the second half. But don't take anything away from Tech on that. They had a much stronger desire to win that game. And gosh, it's been 5 years since they probably even had a lead on us. Yeah. So, they did a very nice job. But the frustrating part for us in the loss is we had a lot of people who didn't come prepared to play that game mentally and physically. So that's the only disappointment out of it. Your first games, you're going to make mistakes, and we have a ton of new players. And it's okay to make mistakes in that, but it's not okay to play a certain way. Whoever said, a win's a win is wrong. How you win is important, and how you lose is also important. And we didn't lose that game in a fashion where everyone showed, everyone battled, everyone played their role and gave great effort. There's no shame in that. You just lost the game. The shame is for you to perform poorly at not an acceptable level and below the standards of our team. And that's unfortunately what we did in the first half.
And that's the mental aspect of game. No matter what sport you're playing, the mental aspect is right at the top of the pile.
Well, there's no question, because we practiced physically well. The guys prepared in a physical fashion very well, but we had too many guys who didn't prepare in a mental fashion, and I feel as if thought that this was going to be a game they were going to go in, and because of what we had done before, that they'd be able to rest on those laurels, and that's certainly never the case.
No, and now you face another conference opponent, and once again, is this? I'm a little confused. We'll talk about. I got a couple of questions for you later on, but the Tech game was not a conference game,
no,
or not a division game.
It's just not a division game.
Is the Northern?
Nope, it's not a division game. We're on the Western side.
Okay. And that presents a thing that was on the inside that I want to ask you about, based on something I saw on the conference website. But so you got Northern coming in.
Yes.
They lost to Carroll 20-zip in Havre, but it wasn't the dominating win that maybe Carroll thought that they were going to get. Maybe it showed that Northern is better than they have been in past years. And so how was your scouting report as far as the lights coming in?
Northern's a very improved team now. I mean, people didn't give them enough credit last year on the type of defense that they played. They were doing a great job of developing who they're going to be on defense, and they're very good in the box this year. You know, they're playing a 3-3 stack formation, a lot of stunting, blitzing craziness, so very challenging to pick up on the front end. They're relying on some speed and chaos up front, but then they're playing a really solid zone coverage schematic on the back end like they did last year. That was very good as well. So I'm very impressed with them on the defensive side of the ball. I think they're trying to find exactly who this team can be for them offensively in terms of the option game versus throwing the ball a bit in spread type schematics and that. So they were very much in between that in the Carroll game. And again, Carroll runs a very unique, gimmicky defense, so it's very hard to get ready for. And so I think that was a big challenge for Northern as well. But they played, and the thing I've been very impressed with them since Coach Sowers got there is they play hard, especially on defense. So we didn't take them lightly for 1 second last year, and we're not taking them lightly for 1 second this year. They're putting on film that they're coming to play. And I'm proud of them. I'm looking forward to the day when, that they're going to start getting some Frontier Conference wins.
Well, you talked about Jerome Sowers. This is his fourth year at Northern, but, his background is defense. When he was at Northern Arizona, when he was a D coordinator at Montana, and 4 years in, I guess his defensive system may be starting to catch hold a little bit more.
Yeah, he's got a great young coordinator in Dylan Wampler who played there for them. Excellent young coach. So, excited to play them. Again, we're excited to play them last year. The couple of years before that, it was pretty hard times for them, but they're putting something together, and they're going to get our best.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back. And I've got some questions about the new look Frontier, and we'll do it after these messages on Extra Point on Southwestern Montana News.
Looking for made in Montana food products? Look no further than Town and Country Foods of Dillon.
Back to Extra Point, head football coach at Montana Western, Ryan Nourse. And Ryan, new look to the Frontier Conference. We have a bunch of new teams. We have 2 divisions. I got some stuff off the conference website, and they talked about in the September 20th and September 27th weekends, there would be crossover between East and West. But this is September 6th, and we're having a crossover game. Did they change that, or did they just?
It's basically, it's hard to explain. They're all crossover games unless you're within your division. Us and Carroll are in the Western Division, and Montana Tech this year is in the Eastern Division. All the Montana schools are going to play each other and maintain their historic rivalries, and as well as will the North Dakota teams. So that's simply what we're looking at there.
Okay, and then division play starts on October 4th, correct? According to this.
I'm not sure. I'm just going to worry about playing Montana State University
Yeah.
Northern.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. You're only
Yeah.
you have a 1-game season.
Absolutely.
And it ends on
Yeah.
Saturday about
So
4 o'clock.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know who we play October 4th.
Okay, but it says each team plays a total of 6 contests in their own division, and the last one on November 15th, which pushes our conference season 1 week later than usual, isn't it? Don't we usually end the week
It's
before
just
that?
it's just how the calendar rolls.
Yeah, and
this year.
three road games and 3 home contests. But I guess the bright spot about all the adding teams and everything else is 2 automatic bids.
Yeah, that's incredible for the entirety of the conference, and I believe the hope with it is we can, with the competitiveness of the conference, that we can always get 3 in, and maybe potentially 4 if we have some really special teams that can put themselves in a position to be able to do that. But I feel doing it this way too is obviously, and the bylaws is a for sure, and I think 3 is a realistic opportunity every single year to put 3 of the best teams in the country from the Frontier Conference out there and having a shot at a national championship.
Well, backstepping last year, you had a great season last year. You made a deep run into the playoffs. Your game against Morningside was a close game. You know, the breaks here and there dictated what was happening. And that's got to give you and your staff and the players that thing that say, hey, we can play with the rest of the nation as far as the NAIA goes. And so what kind of mini adjustments did you make just from what happened in your playoff run versus getting ready for this season?
Nothing really, just moving forward, in the off season and developing the players that we have on our roster, looking at our schematics and how are they going to need to be manipulated for the new players who are going to be playing for us this year. Really just putting 2024 to bed and moving forward with the 2025 team, learning from the things that you did well, working on that, working on repeating those and keeping them as a strength, and then looking at the things that maybe you didn't do quite as well, and improving on those areas, and then always growing. And I just think as in this profession, as coaches, and that if you're not excited about learning new things and about growing and about learning about your kids and your team and how you're going to develop them the best, then you just need to get out, because you're not going to be successful, and 2, you're cheating your people. So we just worked hard on that, all of us, coaches and players alike, and growing, learning, manipulating what we do and how we do it to the 2025 team and those players that we're going to have, and just trying to continue to do things the dog way and make it the best that we can.
Well, and in closing too, making me feel really old, because as I look at the football roster, the 2025 roster, I see names on that roster, and those names were on the roster 20-some years ago.
Yes.
And so that's got to be kind of rewarding as a Western alum, the fact that your former teammates are sending their kids to play football at Western.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing. Things just come around, and you kind of pay it back and pay it forward at the same time, and do in this business and doing this job. So it's a joy to coach those guys as kids and help them develop as young men through playing just one of the greatest team sport on earth.
Okay. Well, Coach, thanks for stopping in. I know it's
Absolutely.
a busy day for you, and good luck this weekend against Northern. Kickoff 1 o'clock at Bulldog Stadium, and the tailgate section will be going about 9:30, 9 o'clock, something like that. If a Western football fan has not participated in our tailgate section, it's an event in itself.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, other schools in our conference have to, they have a couple games a year that, they're awesome and they're special games and they're really valuable for their alumni and their teams and their university. But every game's like that here in Dillon, and it's just it's humbling for me, and I know it is for our staff and our players that we get that every week, and I thank those people for all their support, and we'll go put a good product on the field for them again this Saturday.
Okay, well, thanks, Ryan. Kickoff once again, 1 o'clock, Bulldog Stadium. The Dogs taking on the Lights of MSU Northern. Thanks, Ryan Nourse, for taking time out of a busy day for visiting with us on Extra Point. And our program today brought to you by Susan McCray Accounting, Pioneer Furniture, and Town and Country Foods. We'll see you next time on Extra Point on Southwestern Montana News.